Let's save our Earth.
Hello, everybody. I'm Karin Stein. I am the Iowa coordinator for Moms Clean Air Force. We're a nationwide community of over 1 million moms and dads fighting against air pollution and climate pollution in general for the sake of the health of our children and vulnerable communities. And I'm hosting this little chat series where I combine the end of Women's History Month with the beginning of Earth Month. And I just invite several women whom I admire to talk a little bit about themselves. And so I would like to welcome today Clemen Wilcox, who is a good friend of mine from many years. So Clemen, welcome. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself at a personal level and what you do professionally.
Thank you, Karin. Nice to see you.
Great to see you always.
Thank you for inviting me. Well, as Karin said, my name is Clemen. I am originally from Colombia, South America, and I was born in the land of coffee, in the area of coffee, my favorite beverage. I grew up in a small town. My family is small too. I come from a family that is mixed race, meaning my mother is light-skinned Colombian and my father was a darker-skinned Colombian. So all this caramel look comes from there. And of course, my African hair. I grew up with my brother and sister, like, as I said, a small family. What we believe based on our father and mother education was that education will be our inheritance. And so they said, you go to school, you go to the university, that's what you get. You take it, you leave it. And we say, okay, we take it. and so my brother became an architect. My sister studied business administration, and I am an industrial engineer. I grew up in the middle of the mountains. I miss them in the area where I live now. And I really enjoyed my life in Colombia. I did college, and after that, came to the United States, and I didn't know a single word of English. So life was a little bit difficult. And I lived for a long time in Iowa, and now I live in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, and I work for the University of Minnesota. I work for a research study in family health named 10,000 Families. And what we do that is very important right now is we study the links between blood cancers and environmental exposures, which is very, very important, and to see how the environment has a direct affection to our health.
I really love to hear about your current profession, Clemen, because it happens to coincide with what Moms Clean Air Force does and its branch, Ecomadres, namely that just about everything we inhale, we swallow, just being in an enclosed space, all of those things play a role in our health and often to our detriment, and many families are not aware of it, particularly if there are language barriers to overcome or just lack of access to information. Disadvantaged communities are always the last to find out what affects them first and foremost. So I really admire the work that you do, and I'm privileged to have you here on a program hosted by us. So thank you so much. But let me ask you, as a woman, do you feel the way you interact with your community, the way you view it, the way you engage in it, is affected by the fact that you are a woman, that makes it different from how a non-binary person or a male person or just anybody else would interact with their community? How does your identity play into it?
Well, I feel that my identity is who I am. I identify as a woman. I come with all the women characteristics. I'm very caring. With these characteristics, I'm not saying that our male counterpart is not. I'm just saying that is very strong in a woman, the caring for children and for other people. That's who I am. I care for people, even if I don't have children. I care for everyone. I really feel that desire to care for people. I'm very passionate, emotional, and all those things. So it is part of my life. And I always have thought that the world is a world of men or made for the males or people who identify as males. And not for us, not for women. So I feel that I have been a feminist my whole life. I was born a feminist because I think that we get the short end in many cases. Even the Mother Earth gets the short end.
Yes, even Mother Earth, you're absolutely right.
So I do think that we have much more challenges as females, not only at home, but at work, in the environment, everywhere we get the short end of things. So it's a passion for me. It drives me to work for women, to help women, to empower women, to support women. And I do it just, I guess, because I am a woman.
It's very interesting to hear you point out some of those things and the fact that you've been a feminist ever since you were little. You know, what the audience may not know, Clemen, is that we're both Colombian. We both have known each other for a long time, and I know you and I know your fire, and I believe you when you say you were a feminist long before you even knew what that was. So let's talk about that younger generation. You may not be a mom to a human, but you are an aunt, and you interact with young community members all the time. Talk to us about your big concerns, environmental concerns, for that young generation and for those who follow after them. And what can we do to address those concerns?
Well, I really think and I really admire that younger generation because they are really concerned about environmental issues. And I guess it's because we are leaving them this planet in such a bad way. And so they are really concerned about it. And I really admire that in the younger generations. But I am really concerned. And I am really concerned because I feel that they have lost hope. They have lost hope because people from our generations and older say, oh yeah, I'm very concerned about the environment, but throw things, destroy things, suspend things, and it's not really caring. Those generations, and I'm not saying everyone, but the general, I mean, the earth is not suffering just because we are thinking that it shouldn't. It's because we are taking the planet to that. So I feel very, very concerned about that. I feel the younger generations have lost hope, that they don't find ways to do things. They feel like, okay, this is our luck. We're done.
So how can we give them hope? How can we set the example? What can we actually do in our homes and our communities to give them hope and to encourage them to go forth in a way that works against these bad problems that we have created on Earth?
I think we need to educate the younger generations. We need to have classes in a school that are environmental class. They need to learn and they need to teach us. They need to help the rest of us get educated. So from the base up, because really we are getting older and we are not changing our ways. We like our cars and drive and don't like to be in public transportation. We like to spend, we like to do a lot of things that are not helping the planet. So I really think that we need to have those classes. We need to educate them and empower them so they can help us improve the
yes,
life.
I agree. So in a way, the younger generation becomes our teacher if they have access to environmental education from a very early age.
Correct.
And what do you say to someone who says, well, I'm already recycling, I'm doing my part?
Well, two things. I think it's good from not recycling to recycling, biggest step, very positive. But I just think that it's not only that. It's not only recycling and saying, oh, I'm done recycling. No, it's more than that. It's more stopping spending, throwing food through the drains, destroying, breaking, creating products that are not biodegradable. We all can contribute. We all can. But a lot of people in our generations choose not to, and choose to think that because I recycle, I have done my part and I'm done. And that's not the general idea. I do think that recycling is very important, but there are big amounts of supplies needed to produce food. Land, water, energy, all kinds of things that go to the drains because we cook too much. We don't eat the leftovers because they get bad in the refrigerator, and we keep producing and producing more waste. And all that energy that is used to produce the food and all the things that we consume gets thrown through the drain. If we begin by cooking what is necessary, eating what is necessary, we shouldn't be wasting so much. And I always remember that story from Ryan's, my husband's uncle, saying, I was asking, oh, you have such a small trash. And he said, well, the less trash I produce, the better I am doing for the environment. And that's my goal, to produce less trash and yes, recycle, but having to recycle less because I use less.
That's a beautiful message, a beautiful line on which to end. Clemen, thank you so much for being here with us today. And if you would like to find out more about the work that Moms Clean Air Force does and the work that Clemen does in her own research and reaching out to communities so they can empower themselves to learn more about how the environment affects their health and to reach out to decision makers, please contact us at the information that follows right at the end of this video. Thank you so much, Clemen, my good friend, my fellow Colombian, and take care. And we will have you on this channel another day again, I am sure. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I want clean air and water. Save our climate, save our earth.